Hello and welcome to Silver Star Guidance YouTube channel. This is a new channel with a new series of monthly readings I'm going to be doing, and this is going to be for people born under the energy of Capricorn for November 2018. So let's see what Capricorn has for November. No. Oh, come on. Alright, you want to turn around. Go that way. Turn me there. That's good. Turned around. Oh. Okay. Come back here. A lot of tough energy coming from October into November, that's for sure. But I like to keep these as brief as I can, and also try and keep these readings realistic and practical. I like adding a lot of fluff to them, so all about just giving the truth. So what are the messages do we have for Capricorn? And I have these cards shuffled before I start and cleared, and I did have a few things sort of pop out on the way. But always shuffle them again before I start. During the reading. You wanted to come out too? Fine. Alright. Overall energy being the Lovers. So, as with most signs, seems coming into November, a lot of karmic stuff coming in with the Emperor here in the reverse. So it seems like there's, it's like a lot of, it's sort of like lost your will, which is kind of odd for Capricorn, I guess. Coming to this point, there's no real happiness at home, or no happy relationship, I suppose. With this pertaining to the Lovers, so it could be dealing with an intimate relationship, but it is a general reading, so I try and keep it general. So it's basically, it's losing a sense of self, losing a sense of strength, losing that sort of sense of happiness at home, feeling unfulfilled in a lot of ways, losing control, being unbalanced. With the Fool energy here, it is saying that to take a leap of faith, believe in yourself a bit more. It did actually pop out in the reverse, but it did pop into its upright position, so I would take that as a sign, as in teetering close to the edge and being with this other energy here. So saying, have a little faith in this. There is, with the Temperance in reverse, it is showing an imbalance of extremes. So, it's concentrating me here on the water. It could be in excess, like possibly with, like alcohol, things like that, for example. Causing problems, causing arguments, which could relate back to family or home life, let's say. and relationships. Possibly, I'm sort of seeing like there's a loved one concerned, and you're sort of having to defend yourself against other people with their opinions, or them sort of wanting to put their input into the situation, I suppose. With the Eight of Wands here, it does pertain to some fast communication that's going to be coming in towards the later part of the mid of November. So this also pertains to it's already set in motion, basically, this, and you just sort of got to see where it lands. You take a chance. Try and free yourself a bit, because at the moment you're doing it seems like I'm getting like quite unbalanced behavior, emotionally, possibly physically as well, it seems. Could be taking it out on other people, that sort of thing. And I'm getting the words, what you reap you will sow. So like I was saying at the start, there is a lot of coming of karmic ties here, things that are coming around full circle in a lot of ways. I do see that you're trying to forget the past in a lot of ways, trying to come with the Hermit card here. It's this is solitary sort of energy, and doing a bit of soul searching, and that's really not going to hurt at this point of time in the late part of November. And I think you'll probably, by this time, you'll really start to sort of mellow down and want to sort of stop and have a good think, and sort of try and shed a light on what's been going on in your life at this point in time. And it does sort of pertain also to the Five of Swords here, so it's it's sort of fighting a losing battle in a lot of ways. It's like winning the battle, but at what cost? What did it cost to actually win the arguments? I'm saying sort of arguments plural, because it seems like it's just possibly an ongoing thing. And it seems to be dealing a lot with personal relationships in a lot of ways, or at least it's affecting your personal relationships, home life and stability of such. It's really calling to, it's these two cards being related. I see it. It's having faith in yourself. It's not everything can be done by just iron will alone. If I'm sure you understand what I mean. Like, sometimes you've got to let sort of faith take over and sort of help guide you. Because let's face it, it sort of trying to do things the other way hasn't been working out too well, I suppose. And it's only caused conflict. And basically, you're going to know about it, I think. From what I could see here, it's leaving behind, not worrying about, you're not too fussed about this sort of happening, but it's going to start hitting you pretty hard. Like it's going to, I get this feeling like it's turning things upside down for you, and it's really going to make you sort of have to sit back, and you might find yourself alone if you can't control your emotions and your extreme behavior, let's say. It's at what cost? If you're doing everything you can to sort of win with these things, it's there's you might win, but at what cost is what I'm getting. This Knight of Cups has come out with this. It's basically showing it's like these are two very opposite sort of energies. So you can go this way where you can keep going in a winning sort of way just for yourself, but it's just going to keep you in this position. It's only going to make things worse, and you're just not thinking things through, basically. And it's going to be a time where it's going to be like mourning, I suppose. I see it's like a relationship could be at risk. But I think the important thing is after coming through, see what's really important in your life. Take some time for yourself to sort of, try and meditate on things. Have some faith in yourself that you can actually get through this sort of stuff and figure it out. And possibly the people that you've hurt in the past, to make a genuine offer of, to make peace and, like to show your love for them. If they've been sticking by you and you finally pushed them away, you're trying to show them that you did appreciate them being around, and to, try and thank them for being there for you when, you were going through all this hell and, with all these arguments and everything else. And, it could be only finally at the end where they start walking away, and it's only through this self-reflection where you start to realize that, who really was important in your life, and it's not just yourself. There are other people, and possibly it's like offering an olive branch, and that comes from a sense of peace within yourself first. It's always a difficult situation. It seems like it's an abuse of extremes. It's losing control. It's turmoil in the family life, and you're not sort of you're being careless. You're not seeing where you're going. You're going too close to that edge, and it's leading you only into greater extremes. You're fighting back against people that are trying to help, and basically, it's you could be in danger of reaping what you sow in this fashion, like I mentioned before. So hopefully you see this in time and be able to reflect on this before this happens, or before too much happens. It doesn't seem like there's a lot of destruction. It seems like you're not willing to let others in a lot of ways. You might be going through a lot of hardship yourself, possibly internally, possibly through other things, work, money, who knows. Maybe there's other people involved. But if you be careful who you try and sort of fight with, because they could be the ones that you really love you the most. That's what I'm seeing here. And I think in the end you're going to start seeing that and trying to make up for past indiscretions, so to speak. And that's a noble thing to see in yourself these things and to try and correct them, towards the end of the month. You don't have to get right to the end of the month for this to happen. You can put these cards, right up over here and sort of think about it that way. You can sort of cancel this stuff out before it sort of starts. But I'm not sure if it's going to work out that way, because you might just sort of brush it off and sort of go, the hell with it all. I know what I'm doing. It's like you could sort of be in a position where it's like, I see like it's like possibly like alcohol could be a problem, for example, or abuse of some kind like that, and that could cause a lot of conflicts. It seems could be at risk of pushing people away, but you really don't care. And it's only when you're going to end up hitting the point where you're going to see it and realize exactly sort of who you've been pushing away, and those are the people that you really don't want to push away, because they were the ones that stuck by you through it all. And yeah, it's a noble thing to be able to admit to wrongs or mistakes and try and make up for what's been done. The least, it shows that at least you're, trying to become a better person, I suppose is the best way of putting it. And, especially if it's to do with a loving, soulmate relationship, for example, it's always worth trying to, salvage what you can and try and make peace. It's, those are the people that love you the most, that stick by you and go through all this with you and can take a lot of hits. And, but eventually it'll become too much for some of them. And unfortunately, those are the ones that you really do care about the most. Yeah, it's been a lot of hard readings for a lot of signs. Don't worry, this is probably one of the hardest ones I've come across yet. And but there's hope at the end. I believe with looking back on yourself and trying to really see, trying to shed some light on internally what's going on with you, and trying to find peace within yourself first, and that's how you can bring peace to the rest of your life and to those in your relationships, and that's how these reversals get put back up the right way. Starts with you. Alright, Capricorn, I hope you enjoyed your reading. If you did, please leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you wish to see more content, and I will be doing some love and relationship readings over the next couple of days, so if you're interested, stay tuned for those. Until then, take care.